On the North Central Footy Report on the Friday night sports show, we got an exciting guest, normally Dale Hinkley. But Dale, he's on a satellite phone somewhere, I don't know, lost in Western Australia in the Kimberley region, I reckon. But he's given me the number of a legend of the Birchip-Watchem Bulls and of football in general in country Victoria. And it is Trevor Ryan with me. G'day, Trevor. How are you?
I'm very well, and thanks for having me on.
Oh, great to have you, because you were once, I saw your name when I've been to a couple of the establishments in Birchip, coming up on the at the George Cartwright Oval. You've got the name on the board there, and a former coach back in the early 2000s, and suddenly you found your way back to coaching after a career with AFL development. Firstly, before you tell me about the Bulls, what did you do at AFL in your development role?
Yeah, the AFL Victoria development role was a pretty full-on role that covered obviously all grassroots footy and rules and regulations, as well as crossed over into a lot of their school development programs, coach education programs, and obviously the talent ID and pathway programs through NAB Cup and that sort of stuff. So yeah, it was a pretty full-on sort of role to have. It was one that I really enjoyed.
And I know that you're back home coaching the Bulls, who are raging right at the moment, those Bulls, and hard to get those younger calves amongst those Bulls roped in, because they are going gangbusters for you. But you've got a couple of lads too. I noticed that that Lockie is back playing after a career over in Adelaide with the Sandful Crows, and your other son Josh is still out over there at West Adelaide. So you've got a couple of sons in some pretty high-level football.
Yeah, I have. It's pretty lucky to be able to split them apart, actually. Being twins, they've done everything together, and obviously over there in Adelaide living together. So to get Lockie across to the Bulls to play some footy has been a really good asset to the club, and I've really enjoyed the opportunity to be able to play a bit of part in his football journey.
Yeah, great to be coaching your son at the at this level again. They are at a good level, because we'll go to the games from last week, and why I said that you are raging and hard to rope. The Birchip-Watchem Bulls 10-14-74, Donald 10-8-68. The old foe. It doesn't get any better than beating those Royal Blues. Once you get to Litchfield, you just know that you're in those Royal Blue territory, and you want to beat them, don't you?
Oh yeah, it's a strong rivalry between the two clubs, and obviously they're a great club. They've got a really good history, and obviously feel the same about travelling our way in regards to the win-loss ratio between the two. But yeah, we've played them twice now, and they've been really solid hit-outs and close games. 16 points being the first game their way, and yeah, we're lucky to get over the line by a goal last week, which is a really good result for us in setting us up for the back half of the year.
Oh, absolutely. Now, here's the better players. Dale's brother, Clayton, he was dominant from his wing. Big Lockie, we know how good Surrett rucks. My boy, Elliot Jeske from Mundalla. Your boy, Lockie Ryan. Daniel Castellano, everybody's boy. He's a goal-kicking sensation. Kyle Stevens does the job too. That is a real good set of some of your best players.
Yeah, we're very lucky in our recruiting. Obviously, we targeted certain players to fill spots for us, and Elliot's been one of those players that we really focused on, has given us that midfield strength that we need. And yeah, he's in really good form. He's enjoying his footy, which obviously makes him keen to get there each week and put in the work. So the other boys are doing their roles as well. Young Castellano's kicking the goals that we need him to kick, and Clayton Hinkley's been in ripping form all year in regards to consistency, and Lockie's found his spot across half-back flank, which has given us a lot of run and good ball use across there, and young Cole Stevens is doing the same. So pretty lucky that we've recruited really well, and even more so that they're all enjoying their footy and playing well.
Playing together well too, which is always important. I'm going to look at just another interesting statistic with 7 single goal kickers. Will Shan's been an absolute gun for you. He's kicked 28 for the year, and he hands over the reins. If he can't get him, Castellano can. Brodie Haddo, what a star he's been for a number of years. Darcy Harrison, really good player too, and they were well led. Goal scoring, 4 to Blake Grant. He was hard to stop.
He was. Blake's one of those players, a very hybrid sort of forward players that are hard to match up on. He's got really good ground level skills and he's strong overhead. So yeah, he's a hard match-up, and it's one that we probably haven't quite got right yet because he has kicked goals against us a couple of times now, and Haddo and the other boys always bob up if you don't keep 100% sort of focus on them.
Yeah, and they've got stars like Young, the two young, Seamus too, can kick goals. They really are going to be formidable against you when it comes finals time. It will be happening. Witcher-Proof took on Sea Lake Nandaley up at Tiger Park, 14-17 to the Tigers, 5-11 to Witcher-Proof Narraport. I'll tell you what, the Tigers purring, they're just wanting so desperately to come up against you and Donald and to get a chance to have another dip. This is a really good rivalry that's building between these clubs.
Yeah, no doubt. Look, we really respect Sea Lake and Nandaley Tigers in what they've done in the past. They've been a really successful club and they're well coached and they've got some really good players. And yeah, the rivalry between the three teams is growing every week, I suppose. Everyone looks at their scores and best players and goal kickers, so we're all tracking each other pretty closely. But yeah, they're a good side, and no doubt we'll be in the mix at the end of it.
Yeah, certainly will be. What about the performance? Jed Hammelhoff, really good. Spencer Allen filling in the role for Ricky, who was out of the game, and Cody Green with 3 for Witcher-Proof. Trent Donnan won that medal back in the Mallee, the Russ Gravestocks medal it was called, and one of his now teammates, he was with Wormalang Lascelles when he won that, one of his now teammates or team players over there at Sea Lake Nandaley was Cole Jury, who that is now his boys are playing. Cole won 3 of them. So great to see the boys from out of the Mallee coming good in this North Central, and well played Trent Donnan and Wade Donnan there too.
Yeah, the Donnan boys are really, really consistent players, and obviously if you can't control them at some sort of level, they will cut you to pieces, and they're really good players for their footy club and can poll the votes when the umpires give them out at the end of the day.
Good point on that one too. Matty Elliott is always up there too. He's been a star. Austin Mertz, I think he actually will be the one that polls some votes, and Trent Donnan too this year from that club if we're getting to the Feeney Medal Stakes. But Bort beat Charlton 10-13 to 8-2. This is a bottom of the table clash, and Charlton just never got really going. Bort probably had their measure. In the end, it was a very good win for Bort. They can't make the finals, but I think to develop their kids who've always been really good, but they just haven't seemed to be able to hold those key group of kids that come through from their junior program to make them formidable in their senior side.
Yeah, that's true. Look, they're consistent and they're competitive each week, but obviously just haven't quite got those spots filled to give them that option to kick bigger scores. But yeah, look, they're a young side and a young development side, and they're coached really well. So no doubt that they'll show continued improvement over the next year or two if they can keep that group together. And Charlton's a little bit in the same boat. They're competitive, but just can't sustain it for long periods of time. And again, they just need to persevere with the kids that they're bringing through, give them opportunities, and everyone develops differently in regards to the way they come along, but opportunity is what they need to keep playing. Well,
Wetterburne took on St Arnaud up at the massive Lord Nelson complex, and 14-16-100 to Wetterburne to 8-8-56. I actually thought St Arnaud might have been able to trouble Wetterburne here after their win over Witchy the week before, but wasn't to be. A good win from Wetterburne.
Yeah, Wetterburne's a hard team to get a read on. You just don't know which team's going to come out from week to week, but their best is very good, and it's just making sure that their best is not against you when it's your turn to play on. But yeah, St Arnaud have improved since what they've started at the beginning of the year. They're starting to get their game going as well. So yeah, Wetterburne's probably still in that mix to cause an upset come finals if they do get their A grade on.
All right, Jordan Rosengren was best for them, and Joe Lockhart. The Lockhart boys having good season. The Holt lads always feature, and Geordie Hargraves and of course Adam Postel are some of their stars. On the other side of it, Bailey Durwood and Matty Good having good seasons, and Jacob Tillig, the same names. Jake Hicks with 3 led the way, and 4 each to Tom Campbell and Jordan Rosengren for for the winners there. It's a really good season. It's one that has the ladder looking something like this with the mid-season break. Your side, the Birchip-Watchem Bulls, coached by the man I'm talking to, Trevor Ryan, 9-1. Sea Lake Nandali into second, 8-2. Donald back into third with that percentage, 8-2. And then Wetterburne are at 7-3. Witchy 3-7, Port 3-7, Sonata 2-8, and Charlton yet to open their account. A quick talk, Trevor, outside the top three. You blokes fighting, as we mentioned earlier. Do you see any of the sides below any chance at all in the second half? I mean, is there any likely that Wetterburne would lose enough games for Witchy to still make it?
Oh, look, I'm not sure. They played really well against us for half a game. Wetterburne, they had Big Geordie Hargroves missing and a couple of others. So once they get their full list back playing, I think they might just have the edge over Witchy. So the four might stay as it looks, but you never know. Witchy proof are a proud club and they can cause upsets on any given day. But yeah, Wetterburne, a bit of a sleeping giant on the way they're going to shape up the back half of the year as well. So there's not much between the top four, considering the games won and lost, but it just needs each Saturday becomes an important game to play. You just can't take foot off the pedal at any stage.
No, and as the coach, that's the job at George Cartwright Oval. And Trevor Ryan, I'm sure that you will be doing everything you can to bring home the bacon for the Bulls, so to speak. Maybe the steak for the Bulls, because it is a massive season. And I do thank you for filling in for Dale Hinkley, who's on a very, very exciting trip for the mid-season break. We look forward to him being back, but also thanks for joining us tonight.
No, much appreciated the opportunity to step in for Dale, and wish Dale all the best for the rest of the year in regards to the show. He's been doing a good job for you.